Hi, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. Today I want to talk about turnkey rental properties. Now, turnkey rental properties may be a little different than what many people think turnkey rental properties are. I've heard a lot of different definitions. My definition of a turnkey rental property is a rental property that is repaired, rented, and has a property manager in place. So it's not just a house that's repaired and ready to move into. I'm talking about a property that's been repaired already, is in great shape, has the home rented with a tenant on a long-term lease, has a property manager in place. Basically, it's a turnkey rental property ready for an investor to buy and start making money right away with very limited work from themselves. There are many turnkey companies that have popped up in the last few years because investing in real estate has become such a big thing lately. I personally have 11 rental properties. None of them are turnkey rental properties. I will talk about why that is later on. But I know how great rental properties are. The cash flow you can make, equity pay down, the use of leverage. There are just so many advantages to rental properties. They can help you retire early. And in my opinion, they are much safer and give much better returns than investing in traditional methods like the stock market, even bonds, CDs, unless you want to make 0.1% on your money. So why would people want to invest in a turnkey rental property? Well, for one thing, most turnkey rental properties are going to be out of state from where you live. So one big problem that many investors run into, especially those in California, New York, you know, San Francisco, even Seattle, or other places with high prices, it's really hard to find cash flowing rental properties because owner occupants have pushed the prices of houses so high that you can't really make any money on them. It's an appreciation play. I think it's a bad idea to invest for appreciation because nobody can predict the market. It could go up, but it also could go down. We've seen that happen in the last 10 years with incredibly high rising prices, then huge drops, and again, high prices. So it's not always best to try and bet that your house is going to go up in value and in the meantime break even or maybe even lose money while you're renting it out. The great part about rental properties, if you do it correctly, is you should be able to make money every month and then also hope it goes up in value. If it doesn't go up in value, you're still making money every month. You're not out anything. But for people in those high priced areas, there isn't a lot they can do in their own market. And that's where out of state turnkey rental properties may be a good option for them. So these companies, the turnkey rental property companies, will buy properties. Many times they are REO properties, distressed properties, or even off-market properties. They do a lot of direct mailing. Their goal is to buy properties as cheap as they can. They will then repair the properties, new paint, new carpet, make sure the systems all work great, the furnace, the roof, all of that is updated. At least the good turnkey rental properties do all this. Then they will get a property manager in place and they will have the home rented. They'll have a long-term lease, a property management company they have worked with in the past, hopefully, and have a good relationship with, and it will be a fairly solid investment for an investor who is out of state and can't invest in properties in their own backyard. The returns on turnkey rental properties can vary. They range from 5% to 10% to as high as 15% I've seen. The lower priced homes tend to produce the most returns, and the higher the priced home, the smaller returns. The reason that is many times the lower priced homes may not have as big of an appreciation potential as some of the higher priced homes. And just in general, the higher priced home you buy, usually the harder it is to cash flow on that property and make money on that house. So how much does it cost to buy a turnkey rental property? It can vary depending on the company again. Some companies have financing they offer, some work closely with banks, and others deal in low price properties that can be bought for cash. So the company that I've been in touch with the most, who I've actually talked with about buying turnkeys myself, deals with the very low price properties that can be bought for cash. These are $30,000, $40,000 houses. that are rented for $700 to $800 a month. Those are pretty good ratios. Usually you're buying older homes, but they are in decent shape. Um, it's hard to know what the appreciation potential is on some of these properties, but it's probably not as high as, say, a $150 or $2,000 house that you're going to buy. But you're probably going to make more money on these lower priced homes than you will the higher priced house. When you buy a turnkey rental, you still have to do due diligence. I never suggest just calling up a company, giving them money, and hope for the best. You need to make sure you talk to the property manager, you talk to the tenants if possible. If possible, visit the area you want to invest in, see where your properties are located, see what the market looks like, and you can even ask a real estate agent to provide you their opinion of the area, their opinion of the neighborhood, and even the price you're paying. Many agents will do a broker price opinion for you. It might cost you $50, $70, but it would give you an idea of what they think it's worth and give you any information they know about the house, the neighborhood, etc. When you buy a turnkey rental property, many times the price is going to be retail or even a little bit above retail value. And the reason is you are paying for the home to be rented, to be managed, and to be in great shape. It is very, very difficult to find any house anywhere that is already rented, already has a great property manager in place, and is in really good condition. You might find one of those. You might find a house that's rented, but maybe doesn't have the greatest property manager. You might find a house that has a great property manager, but maybe the house isn't in that great of shape, or the tenants aren't very good. Usually, if a house is in good shape, it's rented, and it has a property manager in place, the landlords aren't selling it because it's bringing them in money and they're making a lot of money. So don't be surprised if when you buy turnkey property, you're not getting a smoking fantastic deal. And that is one reason why I have not bought one yet. I have thought about it. I seriously considered buying a turnkey. I went through the process of an initial interview, talked on the phone with a turnkey company. Really great experience. They gave me a ton of information, showed me the examples of some properties, what returns would be, all the costs they consider, maintenance, vacancies, all of that, taxes, insurance. But ultimately it came down to I'm still able to buy properties in my area in Colorado 20% below market value, and I can usually get between 15 and 20% cash on cash returns. It's really tough to do that with a turnkey property, almost impossible, especially the buying below market value part. So for me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to buy a turnkey rental property at this point unless I just want a lot of diversification, if I want to buy in a different state to spread out my risk. Another thing that you have to consider is I've been a realtor since 2001. I've been investing for 5 years. I've fixed and flipped over 100 houses, and I run a real estate team. It's pretty easy for me to buy a rental property compared to most people. I know the markets, I know the process, I know contractors. So for me, it's not a whole lot more work to buy a rental property as opposed to a new investor or an investor who has a full-time job, who doesn't have a few hours every week to dedicate to finding a rental, finding contractors, finding property managers, renting the home, etc. For those investors, maybe a turnkey rental property is a better solution than trying to do all of that work yourself. Or, like I said, if you can't find those good deals in your own market. I have a contact at a great turnkey rental property. They've been around for 10 years, done hundreds, actually they do hundreds of deals each year. Specialize in out-of-state investors, self-directed IRAs, building retirement income for people with a great property management company and great renters. If you'd like to get in contact with them, fill out the form below. If you include your phone number, email address, they will get in contact with you right away. I do not give this information to anybody else except this one turnkey company. No one else. I don't use it for anything. You don't get signed up for my email list or anything else. It's only for turnkey rentals. They are very easy to talk to. no hard sales, techniques here. I went through the process myself. It was an education process telling me about the areas where they invest, the properties they invest in, why they like to buy there, and how they work in their process. So if you have any questions, you're always welcome to leave a comment as well down below on the article, or you can send me an email to mark@investformore.com. I have not ruled out buying a turnkey in the future at some time, but I've got two more rental properties under contract, number 12 and number 13 here locally in Colorado. So for the time being, I'm going to concentrate on local rental properties, and then maybe someday in the future, we'll look at turnkeys again. Thanks a lot.